Hello viewers, you are watching our YouTube channel UN College Digital Classes and I am Amitabala Patra, Head of the Department, Master of Commerce, Finance and Control. So, we are discussing the paper Financial Market and Instrument, and in that we are discussing the paper, that is Reserve Bank of India. And in our previous classes we have discussed that how the Reserve Bank of India came into force, what are the act that bring the Reserve Bank of India, what are the sections that are there in the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, when it was established, where is its central office, and also we have discussed about its logo, and also that various departments that are functioning or that is contained in the Reserve Bank of India. So, from those you must have by now understood that the Reserve Bank of India is the most important and vital for the financial or the economic health of our country. So, as the other central banks of other countries, the Reserve Bank of India is also playing a very vital and crucial role in the growth and sustainability of the economy of our country. So, today we are going to discuss some more insight into the Reserve Bank of India, and we will be look into that what is the particular functions that the Reserve Bank of India is carrying out, what is its role. So, we will be discussing today the roles and functions of Reserve Bank of India. So, first we will have a look on the main functions of the Reserve Bank of India, that are to maintain monetary stability, so that the business and economic life can deliver welfare gains of a properly functioning mixed economy. So, as we know that in India we have a mixed economy, that means we are neither a capitalist or we are not socialist. We have adopted a mixed economy which is a good balance of both the capitalist and socialist economy. So, this Reserve Bank of India is having or is carrying out the function of bringing the welfare or bringing the maximum benefit of that mixed economy. To maintain financial stability and ensure sound financial institutions, so that monetary stability can be safely pursued and economic units can conduct their business with confidence. So, another function of Reserve Bank of India that is there is to bring stability of finance and ensuring a very sound and healthy financial institutions, and so that there will be monetary stability in the country, and it is also safely pursuing the economic units and bringing a overall a healthy economic condition in the country. It also have the function to maintain stable payment systems, so that the financial transaction can be safely and efficiently exerted. So, that means what? It is providing a security, or we can say that it is providing a secure platform for the payments and transactions. Apart from that, it also has the function to promote the development of the financial infrastructure in terms of markets and systems, and to enable it to promote efficiently, that is to play a leading role in developing a sound financial system, so that it can discharge its regulatory function efficiently, and to ensure that credit allocation by the financial system broadly reflect the national economic priorities and societal concerns, and to regulate the overall volume of money and credit in the economy with a view to ensuring a reasonable degree of price stability. So, this is what the main, or we can say that the function of Reserve Bank of India in a nutshell is. So, if you will put it in a single line, we can say that the Reserve Bank of India is working for the price stability, and it is looking after the monetary condition and the credit creation of the country. So, this is what the main function of the Reserve Bank of India is. Now, we will look into that what is the role of this central bank or the Reserve Bank of India in the country. So, the role that the Reserve Bank of India plays in the Indian banking and financial system relates to note issuing authority, government banker, bankers bank, supervising authority, exchange control authority, promoter of the financial system and regulator of money and credit. So, we can put the role of the Reserve Bank of India in this framework, that is note issuing authority, government banker, bankers bank, supervising authority, exchange control authority, promoter of the financial system and regulator of money and credit. So, this is what the role of the Reserve Bank of India is in the financial system, or we can say the economy of the country. So, so broadly we know that this is what the role of the Reserve Bank of India is and the function of the Reserve Bank of India is. So, now we will go in detail and understand that how this Reserve Bank of India is functioning and how it is executing its role of bringing financial stability and giving a safe and secure platform for operation of the financial transactions, and how it is creating credit and how it is helpful in the promotion, regulation, authority and we can say that smooth functioning of the financial system and leading the country towards the economic growth. So, first the role and the functions of RBI, if we will categorize it into the broad categories, that are the traditional functions and role of Reserve Bank of India, promotional and developmental role and functions of Reserve Bank of India, then supervisory role and functions of Reserve Bank of India, and there are some prohibitions on the Reserve Bank of India that also we will discuss, that is the prohibitory role and functions of Reserve Bank of India. So, first we will start with the traditional functions. So, what do we mean by traditional functions? We know that there are central banks in each and every country, or we can say that each and every country is having a central bank which is looking after the country's welfare, country's economic growth, country's price stability, the development of the economy and regulating the financial system of the country. So, the central bank of every country are having some common or traditional roles that they are doing in their countries, or in their respective countries they are carrying out that role. So, the each and every central bank work for the development of their respective countries. So, as like that, the Reserve Bank of India, that is the Central Bank of India, is also carrying out that traditional functions or having the traditional role. And what are those, we will discuss. The traditional functions are the basic or fundamental functions, as we have said, and that is the issue currency notes, banker to other banks, banker, agent and financial advisor of the government, exchange rate management and the custodian of foreign exchange reserves, and RBI as the bank of central clearance, settlement and transfer. It is also carrying out the function of credit control. So, these are the traditional functions of the Reserve Bank of India. We will discuss one by one. First is the issue currency notes. So, as we know that each country are having their separate currencies, or they have their own currencies. So, as in India we have rupees, and to be noted that recently after the demonetization we have been issued with a new currency note, that is 2000 denomination, which was previously not there. So, like that every country are having their specific currency notes or coins, and that currency notes and coins have been issued by the central bank of that particular country. So, like that the Reserve Bank of India is also having the sole and whole authority of issuing currency notes. So, the function of issuing currency note is a very basic and traditional function of Reserve Bank of India, and RBI has the sole authority to issue currency notes in India. All currency notes except 1 rupee note and coins of smaller denominations were issued by Reserve Bank of India, and Reserve Bank of India has been given these exclusive powers under the provision of section 22 of Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. This system of issuing currency note is known as minimum reserve system, and the currency notes issued by Reserve Bank of India is a legal tender throughout the territory of India without any limitations. It issues this currency note against the security of gold bullion, gold coins, promissory notes, exchange bills and Government of India bonds, etc. So, this is what the function of issue of currency note is of Reserve Bank of India, and as we have seen that the currency notes are been issued by the Reserve Bank of India except the rupee 1 currency note that is been issued by the Ministry of Finance, and this currency note are been issued by different currency press are there which is issuing this currency note. We can code it in like D, S, N and M, that are Devas, Salboni, Nasik and Mysore. So, these are the 4 centers, or these are the 4 places where we have the office, or we can say these are the centers where the currency notes of India are been issued, or the press are there where from where these currency notes are been issued. And if we will see that there is a center at Madhya Pradesh who is giving those papers, the security papers on which these currency notes are been printed. This is what the issue of currency notes are been conducted by the Reserve Bank of India, and we here, if you have noticed that the Reserve Bank of India is not issuing the coins. The coins are been issued in the mints of government, and it is been issued by the Ministry of Finance, and these mints are at Mumbai, Kolkata, Hyderabad and Noida. So, these are the 4 places where the coins of rupees, or we can say the coins are been issued. The coins that we are having, it can be also minted in various ways, like if we have coins like core coins, the shape on which we are stamping the denomination of which the coin is. Then we can have coins of that are issued in the special occasion. We can have coins of a mix of 2 metals alloy, like we have in few years back we have a coin of 10 rupees which is a mixed coin of 2 metals. If you will see, or if you will look into, or if you find a 10 rupees coin, you can find out that it is a coin of 2 metals. So, that could be a type of coin. So, these coins could be minted in various ways, and these 4 places are the places where these coins have been minted. So, this is what the issue currency notes function is. Next, we have the banker to other banks. So, we are always saying that the Reserve Bank of India is the banker to other banks, or it is the banker of bank, as we are saying, and the Reserve Bank of India is the apex monetary body in the country, and it controls the volume of bank reserves. So, all the banks that are operating and the reserves of the banks are being controlled by the Reserve Bank of India, and it helps and regulates other banks to create credit in the right proportion. And what is the proportion of credit that they are going to create, and what should be the credit proportion that is been regulated by the Reserve Bank of India. And it has obligatory powers to regulate, guide, help and direct other banks of the country, and hence it acts as the guardian of commercial banks in India. Every commercial bank has to maintain a certain part of the reserve with Reserve Bank of India, and Reserve Bank of India acts as the lender of last resort, and banks can approach Reserve Bank of India when they need funds. Under the Banking Regulation Act 1949, Reserve Bank of India has extensive powers to supervise and control the banking system of the country. So, the Reserve Bank of India is acting as or functioning as the banker to other banks, and it is regulating the banks, it is supervising the bank, and also it is acting as a guardian to the commercial banks that are operating in India. It also acts as the lender of last resort. That means when the bankers are requiring fund, if they are explode all their revenues and they do not have any option to go for, the Reserve Bank is the last resort from where they can have the funds for their requirements. So, this is how the Reserve Bank of India is acting or having the function of the banker's bank. The another traditional function of Reserve Bank of India is it is the banker, agent and financial advisor of the government. Under section 20 of Reserve Bank of India Act, it acts as the banker and agent to the government. And section 21 and 21A gives powers to Reserve Bank of India to conduct transactions of central and state governments. It has the duty to make payments, tax and deposits on behalf of the government, and it represents government of India at international levels, and it gives financial advice to the government and maintains government accounts. It has a responsibility to manage public debt and maintain the foreign exchange reserves. It also provides overdraft facility to central and state governments. So, if we will look into this, that this function of Reserve Bank of India is saying that it is the bank to the government. So, simply if we want to understand as a customer, when we open a account with a bank, that bank is working as a agent, as an advisor if we need, and work on behalf of us. So, like that for the government, the Reserve Bank of India is its bank, or we can say that the Reserve Bank of India is the government's bank. It is acting on behalf of the government. It is carrying out the transactions that the government need to do. It is also the representative of government at international platforms like IMF, World Bank, like that. It also at the time of need give overdraft facility to the state or central government. So, like that it has various functions as we have discussed, and it function as the banker to the government. Next function that we are having is the exchange rate management and the custodian of foreign exchange reserve. So, Reserve Bank of India has the responsibility to stabilize the external value of Indian currency, and it keeps gold bullions and foreign currency reserves etc. against currency note issue, and has the responsibility to meet the adverse balance of payment with other nations. And RBI has the responsibility to maintain exchange rate stability, and for this it has to bring demand and supply of foreign currency, usually US dollar, to similar levels, and it maintains this stability through buying and selling of foreign currency. The exchange rate management is another important traditional function that the Reserve Bank of India is playing. It is also the custodian of the foreign exchange reserve. So, this is what the function of the Reserve Bank of India is. It is looking after the inflow and outflow of the foreign currency, or we can say the foreign exchange, and it is looking after the stability of its rupees in the international market, looking after the demand and supply. So, this is what the function of exchange rate management is. So, next we have RBI as the bank of central clearance, settlement and transfer. So, RBI provides the facility of clearinghouse for settling banking transactions, and this allows other banks to settle their interbank claims smoothly and economically. At places where RBI does not have its own office, this function is carried out in the premise of State Bank of India, and this facility is provided by Reserve Bank of India through a cell called as the National Clearing Cell. So, RBI is providing or giving the facility of a clearing house. So, when we are doing any interbank transactions, like we can take an example here, like nowadays we are using in huge numbers the Google Pay, the Paytm, the many other digital platforms are there, digital sites are there where we are doing our transactions. So, the transactions are we are doing to XYZ bankings from our own bank. So, these interbank transactions or this flow of funds from one bank to another is being settled and being cleared efficiently and effectively and looked after by the Reserve Bank of India. He is the one who is giving the clearing platform for the interbank transactions. So, this is an important function of the Reserve Bank of India. Next, we have credit control function. The RBI tries to maintain price stability in the country, which is essential for economic development. It regulates money supply in the economy according to the changing circumstances, and it uses various measures such as qualitative and quantitative techniques to regulate credit in the economy. It uses quantitative controls such as bank rate policy, cash reserve ratio, open market operations, and qualitative controls include selective credit control and rationing of credit, etc. So, this is what the credit control function is. So, if we will say in simple words, the Reserve Bank of India is checking that how much money or what is the monetary requirement of the market, whether more money is required in the market or flow of fund is required in the market, or where it is needed to be checked the price stability that is been looked after by the Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank of India is doing all the credit control function by various tools, and that has been categorized into qualitative and quantitative tools. So, it is a very interesting function of Reserve Bank of India. In our forthcoming classes, we will understand in detail what is this credit control function of Reserve Bank of India is. So, these are what the traditional function of Reserve Bank of India is, or the basic or the fundamental function of the Reserve Bank of India is. Now, we will move to the promotional and developmental role and function of Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank of India has been performing the functions of the promoter of financial system along with several special functions and non-monetary functions. So, in our basic or traditional functions, we see or we look into that the Reserve Bank of India is carrying out very traditional and typical functions of that the central bank carries out. It is more or less is involving in the monetary involvement or monetary dealings of the country, and looking after the price stability and other functions that brings smooth running of the monetary or the financial situation or the situation of the country. Apart from that, the Reserve Bank of India is also looking for the promotional or the developmental aspect of the country, and it is encouraging or looking after for the development of the economy or bringing the sound economy of the country. So, this is what the promotional and development role and function of Reserve Bank of India is, and under this we have promotion of banking habits and expansion of banking system, export promotion through refinance facility, development of financial system, support for industrial finance, support to the cooperative sector, support for the agricultural sector, training provision and banking staff, and data collection and publication of reports. So, apart from looking into the monetary aspect, the Reserve Bank of India through these various functions is encouraging or looking into the good health or sound health of the economy and the promotion and development of the economy. So, in our next class, we will be discuss on the further functions of the Reserve Bank of India. Keep watching. Thank you.